Welcome to the Prepper Almanac. Thank you for joining us today. It is deeply appreciated. In today's video we are going to discuss 30 cheap prepper items to look for at flea markets. If you're a prepper or interested in preparedness in general, flea markets and thrift stores can be gold mines. Every day, people clean out their garages or attics and give away things they don't want, completely unaware that many of the items they donate are valuable to preppers. These items end up in second-hand stores and can often be purchased for a fraction of what they would cost new. You just have to be patient and search. Now let's go through the 30 items and let us know in the comment section below if you have other ideas or others items you have found at flea markets. 1. Backpacks. These are cheap and plentiful in flea markets. You can put together several go bags with inexpensive packs. You may even be able to find a nice hiking pack. It's all about being in the right place at the right time. 2. Blankets. These are cheap and easy to find. Look for wool blankets, which are very useful in the dead of winter when you don't have power. You can never have too many blankets. They are versatile and you can impart some goodwill by giving away a blanket to someone who doesn't have one. 3. Board games, cards, and books. These will keep you entertained when there is no power. You can find tons of them at flea markets, and they're very cheap. Buy plenty to make sure you always have something new and exciting to offer the kids. 4. Boots. These are expensive brand new, but you can often find them for under $10 a pair in thrift stores. They don't have to be pretty, but you do want them to be watertight. Inspect the boots and look for tears in the sole. You can always buy shoelaces and waterproof spray. Having several pairs of boots stashed away ensures you'll always have a dry pair to put on. 5. Buckets and barrels. These can often be found sitting in backyard areas or outside the thrift stores. These items are for sale, and usually very cheap, but they don't fit inside. Any vessel that will hold or carry water that you can add to your stash is a good thing. 6. Camping gear. Another thing that people often give away while having no idea how much some people will pay for them. Tents, spare stakes, camp stoves, and on and on. This is the stuff that makes a prepper squeal with glee. 7. Candles. These can be found by the bag. There's no need to get full, unused candles. It is a fairly simple project to melt the candles down and pour them into a jar with a wick for one large candle. You could also burn the half-used candles. Light is light. 8. Cookware. Cookware like cast iron skillets is a boon if you can find them. It holds its value pretty well, but you can still save $20 or more. Look for other cookware that can be used over a fire pit, too. 9. Durable containers and lockboxes. Metal tins, lockboxes, and other durable containers can be repurposed to store valuable items, protect against pests, or even bury supplies. They can provide an added layer of security or simply help organize your prepper supplies. Check for watertight seals and sturdy locks. 10. Fishing gear. This is super cheap at second-hand stores. Rods, reels, tackle boxes and various tackle can be purchased in big lots for under $1 or $2. How many times have you gone fishing and come back with every hook, piece of bait and line? You can never have too much. 11. Flashlights. These are also easy to find at thrift stores. If you can buy several for $1, you are golden. You can also find some of the larger, industrial flashlights if you are lucky. 12. Food preservation supplies. Canning jars, dehydrators and food sealers are a must. Don't pay new prices when you can buy them used and in good working condition. It doesn't matter if the items are in a box or not, as long as they work. 13. Gardening supplies. Shovels, rakes and manual tillers are a lucky find. You will absolutely need shovels for a variety of tasks, including digging latrines. Have several in case one breaks. If you find tools that are not in the best shape, a little duct tape or a new handle can make them good as new. 14. Hunting gear. Hunting gear like camouflage clothing and such is another thing that gets kicked to the thrift stores when somebody decides they don't want to it anymore. Oftentimes, the hunter discarding the items barely use the gear. And because it is in such high supply, you can get it super cheap in the off months. 15. Knives. These are taken for granted today. In a post-apocalyptic world, you'll need a lot of them. If they break, get too dull, or get lost, you'll be in trouble. Having lots of backups ensures you can cut meat, defend yourself, and hunt if needed. Look for sharpening stones as well. 16. Lanterns. These aren't quite as easy to come by, but you can find them. Packs of mantles are often tossed onto a shelf because the thrift store people and the folks who donated them don't know what they are. Oil or battery-powered lanterns are a definite must-have. 17. Manual kitchen tools. Things like can openers, meat grinders and even grain mills can be found as well. The meat and grain grinders can be very expensive when bought new, but you can find them for under $50 at a thrift store or even cheaper in many cases. Sometimes these things are missing crucial pieces, and you may need to go online to find them, but it will still save you a small fortune. 18. Manual water filters and pumps. Water purification is crucial in many emergency situations. Hand pumps and manual water filters can sometimes be found if you look diligently. Check for any signs of damage and ensure the filter components are in working order. Replacement filter cartridges can be sourced separately if necessary. 19. Medical equipment. Crutches, a wheelchair, walkers and so on are nice to have stashed away if you have the room. Imagine trying to get around with a sprained ankle without the luxury of crutches. These are often found at the hospice thrift stores for very little money. 20. Old military gear. Many veterans or families of veterans donate old military surplus items. These could be field jackets, MREs, meals ready to eat, canteens, or other durable gear. The military designs these items to be rugged and long-lasting, so even if they're a bit worn, they often have a lot of life left in them. 21. Radios. Radios are fairly cheap at thrift stores as well. Having a couple small, portable radios on hand is going to be a must. If there's a disaster, you'll need to listen to the radio to get news about what is happening around you. 22. Rain gear. Boots, ponchos and slickers will keep you dry on the days you have to be outside. Buy these whenever you see them if the price is right. They do tend to get torn if you are walking through heavy trees or past fences. 23. Reference books. While entertainment books are great, don't forget to look for reference books on topics like local edible plants, basic medical procedures, or survival techniques. In the absence of the internet or other modern conveniences, these books can become invaluable resources. 24. Sewing supplies. Needles, thread, spare buttons and even zippers are a great find. You can use the gear for fishing, making baskets, suturing wounds and repairing clothing. The more needles and thread you can collect, the better off you will be. 25. Solar chargers and panels. As we become more tech-reliant, you might spot discarded or outdated solar chargers and panels. While they may not power an entire house, they can be invaluable for charging essential devices like radios, flashlights, or communication devices when there's no electricity. 26. Tools. Hammers, screwdrivers and wrenches are also a necessity. As you know, these things tend to walk off, so having extras is important. You will be doing a lot of hands-on work after a disaster and you need tools to get it done. Look for buckets of nails and screws as well. 27. Towels or rags. These can be bought by the bag in most cases. Towels can be used to clean up, or you can roll them up and put them under a door to block an air draft or seal a room if needed. Towels can be used to make slings, or even a stretcher. They can be used as bandages as well. A stockpile of towels and rags is worth having. If you can get them for a couple bucks, jump at the chance. 28. Winter gear. This is always readily available at second-hand stores. Hats, coats and gloves are very affordable at these places and even cheaper in the summer months. Snowsuits are also an excellent find. Keeping several pairs of gloves for each member of the household and a couple of coats and hats will ensure you are ready for anything. 29. Wood cutting equipment. Chainsaws and axes are a good find. You may need to do a little work on the chainsaw, but if you can make it run, you are in good shape. Axe handles are often tossed on a shelf without anybody realizing what they are. 30. Yards of fabric. These are often donated to thrift stores after grandmothers pass away or mothers give up sewing. Fabric can be used to make clothes, make curtains for a new shelter, or repair current clothing items. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to be functional. These are just some of the things you want to look for when hitting flea markets and thrift stores. When you are browsing the shelves, keep an open mind and think about how you can make an item work for you. You are not going to find all of these things at every store on every visit. You have to be diligent and visit often and prepare to do some digging. Let me know what you think of this list and if you have any additional ideas to consider picking up at flea markets that you want to share with the community. As we wrap up today's video, if you have any questions or if there are any topics that you would like discussed in the future, let us know in the comments section below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel to learn more about prepping and share the video with others that may have a passion for prepping or are curious about prepping in general. And lastly, we have put some links to some prepper supplies that you might want to check out in the description below. Thanks for watching the Prepper Almanac.